Hi, I'm Cheryl Waters, and you're listening to KEXP, listener-powered radio at 90.3 FM in Seattle and streaming worldwide at kexp.org. Today in the KEXP studios, it's Soccer Mommy. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
It's so great to have you back. A brand new album. Well, maybe not brand new, but the newest album called Color Theory, which I'd love to chat about. But why don't you start us off with some music? It's Soccer Mommy live on KEXP.
Remembering running through my yard like a wild stream. Just a little kid, blood flowing into my rosy cheeks. Now a river runs red from my knuckles into the sea. There's a pale girl staring through the mirror at me. Little to come to do, little I could go back to see. How change us, blooming off the branches of our trees. To have heard it come way I felt since I was 13. 'Cause I mean I feel it now, covered up the wounds with my long sleeves. But I know it's waiting there, swimming through my bloodstream. It's gonna come for me, yeah, it's gonna come for me. What did you have that I didn't? Why am I so blue? Someone's talking in my forehead that says I'll never be like you. I've been ashes like a fire, fly on summer breeze, feel it slipping.
That's Soccer Mommy live on KEXP, the new album Color Theory. Very excited to have them live here in the studio. You're listening to Soccer Mommy live here in the KEXP studios. Here with her band today, playing songs from the newest album, Color Theory.
I am a liar, and I choose or Shackleton, my tongue, Jennifer. pretty. When I'm naked, you wore a mirror. Say I'm the fairest. Oh, whoa, I am. Fake it till you make it in a can, and you have a calmness that I could never understand, but you let me in it. You will regret it, 'cause I'm only looking for my skewed reflection in you, falling out of what I thought was love, 'cause you are a question that I thought I could solve, but you don't need something. You're just not what I want, and I want an answer to all my problems, but there's not an answer. I am the problem for me now and always. I will break my own bones till my legs stop walking, and my vet is my throne. My room is a kingdom for the princess of screwing up, and I'll be the dragon. I'll hold me captive. My world is sinking, and I am the captain of it
We're live here in the KEXP studios with Soccer Mommy. Everyone's smiling at one another after that song. Nicely done. Soccer Mommy live on KEXP. Songs from the new album, Color Theory. Oh, thank you so much for being here. That song has such a visceral impact on me. It has that sort of fragile, soft beginning and builds up to that angst-filled crescendo.
Yeah.
And I understand that is about a time that you suffered from sleep paralysis and hallucinations. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of not sleeping will do that to you.
I imagine so. Hopefully you're not suffering from that on a regular basis.
No.
Well, Sophie, your last album, Clean, was an amazing collection of songs that focused on the intensity of love and interpersonal relationships. And Color Theory takes a little bit more internal approach. How would you describe this record?
I mean, for me, it was just a lot less about relationships and stuff, and more about just like different phases of my life, I guess, and just kind of going through those and feeling the different like moods of each and trying to, get a good representation of some of those.
Well, you've associated those moods with colors. You've grouped the song in this record into 3 distinct categories: blue, yellow, and gray. And it sounds like the idea developed while you were writing the songs. Tell me a little bit about the story that you're telling here.
Yeah, I mean, I started kind of getting the idea for it close to when the record was done, just because I was feeling that there was a lot of basically like very different songs on the record that kind of didn't relate to each other in specific ways. And in my mind, it just kind of was getting separated into these couple themes, which for me happened to be very associated with color. I mean, especially thinking about like album art and stuff when you're towards the end of making a record, I always end up kind of thinking about color schemes and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of how that all came up.
What do those specific colors, blue, yellow, and gray, represent for you, either in general or here on the record?
Yeah, I mean, in my head, obviously, I mean, blue is a very obvious one. A lot of people associate that with like sadness. But yeah, and yellow for me, I guess, I feel like a lot of people associate that with happiness, but for me, it's always been more like sickness. It's like a very specific association I have, I guess. And then gray was just kind of meant to represent like this like emptiness and despair, I guess. Darkness, stuff like that.
Well, the first song that you played today, Bloodstream, which is also the first song on the record, you said that was hard for you to write. What was challenging about that song?
It was just hard to get it to flow well, I think, because I had a lot of, when I was writing the lyrics specifically, I had a lot of ideas, but they were very, like a lot of little metaphors I wanted in there and stuff like that, and it was very hard to get them to all kind of flow into each other and not lose like the grand scheme of the song, basically.
Well, you clearly not only think about the lyrics, but you think about the production of your music. And in Circle the Drain, which you also played today, the hook sounds like you're kind of tornadoing down the drain. And you even included these kind of bubbling sounds. And there's lots of fun sounds and samples on this record, especially in that song, but it's all over the record. Where did you come up for the idea of that, and where did you find all those?
Well, I mean, I've always loved using, like, samples, but also specifically using, like, real-world sounds in songs. I always think that kind of gives it a different, like, energy of, like, kind of sucks you back into reality a little bit in a cool way, and puts it in, like, a scene a little bit. But we ended up, when we were recording, there was, like, a sampling keyboard there, and the person who owned the studio had like a bunch of floppy disks of like a lot of samples, so we were just going through all those and picking out all our favorites and putting them all over the place.
Wow, floppy disk, that's a flash from the past. You worked with the same producer, Gabe Wax, on this record as you did with Clean, and it sounds like you had a lot of fun in studio, layering sounds and playing with a lot of different ideas. I've read in interviews that you say that you love making records. That's your favorite part, kind of what you do, being in the studio. What do you love about that so much, and what was this experience like as compared to the last record?
I think probably the thing I love most about it is I'm a big perfectionist, so you get to like make it perfect and it's done. You know, that's which I mean that's on the opposite end. That's what I like about playing live music too, is that it's kind of always different and it's changing a lot. But it's really great to get to sit down and make something exactly what you wanted and hear that finished product and know that like this is what you imagined, basically. And I think with that, it was great working with Gabe again. I mean, he's great. He's a friend to all of us, and he has a lot of great ideas that I'm kind of more of a big picture person a lot of the time, and he's really good at kind of taking whatever moods I want to get into this spot and like making it reality, basically. So it was awesome.
I think the last time you told me that just you and Jules were in the studio together, but this time you had the live Soccer Mommy band there. Mm-hmm. And that must have been great. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it's actually, I think only one other person from that is here today still. But it was great. I mean, it's so much more fun to do it that way, in my opinion. When we recorded Clean, I didn't have a steady band, so there was no point. But I think that part of, you know, making a really good, like, live sounding record is having that live take at the base of it that has a band that, you know, knows each other and works well together. So it was great. That's how I always want to do it.
Well, I know that writing is a very solitary process for you. What do the songs look like when you bring them to the band or you bring them to Gabe?
Usually I record demos, and usually it's sometimes it's just me and guitar. Sometimes if I, you know, had a lot of ideas and stuff, I'll have done other things on it, but usually it's just me and the guitar chords and then whatever like riffs I've written specifically for the song. So it's pretty broken down most of the time.
Well, it's a beautiful record. I hope you had as much fun making it as we do listening to it. I know it came out in February 2020,
yes.
And I imagine you had some grand plans. Did you even get out for any shows around the record before things locked down for COVID?
No, we didn't play. Actually, we played, the only thing we did was a Bernie Sanders rally. That was the only Color Theory show up until this current tour. This basically the tour we're on right now is what we would have been doing March 2020.
Is it kind of a mind bender to be coming out on the road now after all that time passed? Were you a little bit nervous, have any kind of stage fright or anything?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a little weird, just surreal at first. Now it feels pretty normal. We're on like the second leg, and honestly, you know, we're usually we keep to ourselves a lot anyway, so it feels fairly normal now. But at the beginning, it was definitely like the first show. I just felt like we were gonna get there, and at any moment it was gonna be canceled, and we weren't actually gonna play the show. But here we are.
Good. Well, I hope you're having fun, and I know your hometown is Nashville. Mm-hmm. And you sound like you are pretty in love with the place that you grew up. What do you love so much? What enchants you so much about Nashville?
I mean, there's so many great things about Nashville. I mean, you know, a lot of the old establishments that are there are awesome, and I mean, we've lost a lot of them too, which really sucks. But I think also just for me, it's like a really nice mixture of like a city where you can find stuff you need and like go do things, but also there's a ton of nature and it has that kind of small town vibe. So, and I mean, all my friends are there, my family's there, so.
A nice place to return to after tour. Well, thank you all so much for coming. You sounded amazing today. And again, the new album, Color Theory, absolutely love it. Since it's been a couple years, are you working on new stuff already?
Yeah, we've been working on it. We've done a lot of work on it. I can't give any, release date details. We don't have any of that, but we have stuff coming eventually.
Fair enough. Well, suffice it to say, we'll be seeing you again in the future then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's Soccer Mommy live on KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.